The reason why you care so much about what other people think about you is because as human beings, it is in our nature to search for acceptance, belonging, and to be loved. And it's actually a basic survival mechanism of ours. You want to be accepted because we fear loneliness subconsciously. And you'll hear me talk about that a lot. Why people sacrifice their morals, values, beliefs, and live their lives in a way that's specifically based on their fear of being alone. You see, in the animal kingdom, being alone means death. Being without a pack makes you a target, an easy target. Obviously, things are a bit different in modern society, but the basis remains the same. There's plenty of studies that show loneliness increases risk of earlier death for us as well. Which makes sense because when you think about how you feel and your state of existence when you're alone, as opposed to when you're surrounded by people you love and that love you, it's a stark contrast and you can definitely feel the effects physically as well. And it's so ironic me saying this because for most of my life, I've adopted the lone wolf mentality. Maybe that's your mentality right now. But when I say stop caring so much about what people think, I'm not equating that to say fuck everyone and just be by yourself. It's not what I'm saying at all. There is a healthy and unhealthy way to not care about what others think. The reality is we all do care, just in different ways and to different extents. Some people, for example, that are chronically on social media and on Instagram all the time are conditioned to care more about what every other person they interact with are thinking about them. Just because you've been so conditioned by likes, comments, and followers. And on the exact opposite end are the people that say fuck everyone and everything. I don't care what anyone else says or thinks, I'm just gonna do me. That's also the wrong approach. And I think every guy has gotten to this point at least once in their life. But because of social media and how it's changed the way we interact with people, especially for Gen Z and the generations to come after us, young people have been conditioned to care way too much about what other people think about them to the extreme where it alters their entire life path. And the first thing you can do to learn to not care what others think is to be honest with yourself with who you are. And what I mean is, if you can't even be honest and accept yourself for who you are, you will spend the rest of your life fighting for the acceptance of others at the cost of your identity. You gotta think about what are your goals, what are your interests, what are your passions, what are your hobbies, what you believe in, what do you stand for, what do you care about, what's important in life to you, what do you want out of life yourself? Ask yourself these questions and be honest with yourself. Be brutally honest, because that is your identity, that is who you are. When you have that core intact and a solid grasp of your identity and who you are, anything anyone believes or thinks about you goes in one ear out the other. Like, no one is bulletproof, but a reason why nothing really phases me as much anymore is because I know who I am. Obviously, you're always going to be growing and learning and maturing, but I have a foundation of who I am, and it's like that bedrock inside of you that remains constant despite the waves that might come your way. No matter what anyone tells you, understand that there's no one that knows you better than yourself, not even close. No one knows what's in your heart, your thoughts, your feelings more than you ever will. The next way to stop caring about what others think is to develop a self-improvement mindset. And this is something that really helped me personally because challenge yourself by putting yourself out there and having new experiences. Experiences that help you better yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. These experiences are what builds your confidence and ability to be comfortable with who you are. When you're afraid and you stay in your shell, you'll never develop that confidence, and thus you start to become worried about what every other person thinks about you. Accomplishments builds confidence, and that's the only way. There's no magic YouTube video you can watch or some guru that will say something that opens up your eyes and makes you confident all of a sudden. It's all experience and doing things and challenging yourself and pushing yourself over and over again, and that's how confidence is built. Just think about it, right? You're confident going into a test because you know you studied for it. You're confident going into a fight because you know you trained for it. You're confident going into an interview because you prepared for every question. When you develop a self-improvement mindset, you seek out experiences, and through those experiences, through time, you build your confidence, and that shapes your identity. And when you have these things under your belt, you walk a little taller in the world, and the opinions of others don't really bother you anymore because you know who you are, and who you are is through the things that you've done. And also, this is a point I really want to drive home. Do what makes you happy. And what I mean is, if you enjoy collecting rocks, go collect rocks. If you enjoy biking, go bike. If you enjoy, I don't know, anime, go immerse yourself in an anime community. If you enjoy art, start painting or whatever medium you want to use. Do what makes you happy. Because so many people hide their passions, goals, and hobbies from the world because they're embarrassed or they're afraid of how it's going to be perceived or looked upon. You're afraid people are going to think you're weird. Or even worse, you hide those passions and goals and hobbies from yourself because of the world. Which is even worse because then you're lying to yourself and you're living inauthentically. And a sign of this is when you know deep down you're unhappy, whether it be what you're doing, the people you're surrounding yourself with, etc. This is where caring about people's opinions can kill dreams and ruin lives. Whatever it is that you like or you're passionate about, go immerse yourself in it. Interests, hobbies, it doesn't matter. And I know it's hard, it can definitely be scary. Actually, I'll do this. These are my Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I still have at the age of 25. And here are some anime figures I have lying around in my room because I think they're cool. And here are some artistic plates and canvases in my room because I like the way they make me feel. And I like the vibe they give to my room. And those are some interests of mine, and some people might think they're weird and some people might think they're cool. but what's important is that I like them. And the reason why this is so important is because it conditions you on how you live your life. If you're scared of showing people that you, I don't know, like anime and manga, you're scared that people will think you're weird and that girls will laugh at you, then how will you possibly go after what you want in life? Whether it be personal, professional, career, romantic life, it doesn't matter. You're gonna see that beautiful girl and not go up to her because you're afraid of how you're gonna look. You won't go after your true passion in life because you're scared of how your peers will judge you. Yo, not caring about what other people think about you is such an important aspect of living life. The reason why you or most people have that feeling deep inside you that you want more out of life, but you don't know how or you're scared, is because you're thinking about other people's perception of you. Immerse yourself in your interests and be proud of them because these small things conditions you on how you're going to approach life. I actually had a girl tell me she thought that anime stuff was weird. Now I could have been like, yeah, I used to be into them when I was a kid, but not so much anymore, just because I was scared of how she was gonna react. But I was just like, nah, you're tripping. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach, Death Note, Fairy Tail, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, you don't even know. And I'm sure all the hardcore anime fans are gonna be like, those are all the mainstream ones, but those are the ones I grew up on. And also rest in peace to the creator of Dragon Ball. I'll talk a bit about that at the end. But yeah, I'm sure she respected me subconsciously. It's about how you carry yourself. I was confident in what I was interested in, even though she thought it was weird. Be confident in who you are, the things you like, what your passions are, don't hide them from the world. I use this example all the time, but at the end of the road on your deathbed, what's going to be more important, the opinions of other people or the fact that you lived a life that was authentic to who you are and you went after what you wanted in life? And it's so crazy because from my perspective, the opinions of others is so insignificant, but it stops so many people from living the life that they want. It stops so much people from doing what makes them happy. It's so illogical, but it happens more often than not. And to me, that's the saddest part about it. And also, try to surround yourself with people that genuinely care and have love for you. When you have a solid group of friends, which if you don't, you find them by putting yourself out there and having experiences like I mentioned at first. But when you have a solid group of people, which doesn't have to be a lot, it's way better to have a small group of people that genuinely fuck with you than a large group of friends that you're barely even close to. When you have those people, you can really care less about the opinions of others, and that's how it should be. How do the people you love and care for, how do they view you? And how do you see yourself? If that's solid and in check, then that's all you really need. You don't really care about what anyone else believes or thinks about you. It's the exact same when you surround yourself with a bunch of people you know deep down don't really care about you, because you're conditioning yourself to care about the opinions of all these people that don't matter. And last but not least, I'm sure this comes as no surprise, stay true to yourself. It's a motto I live by and it's the motto I'll die by. To stay true to yourself is to behave authentically as it pertains to your morals, beliefs, values without compromising them for the sake of appeasing others. You do this by being honest with yourself, by freely expressing your thoughts and beliefs. And this means drawing lines and boundaries when they're necessary. It means accepting that not everyone is going to or even is supposed to like you. A lot of times people live life like they expect everyone to like them. Not everyone is gonna like you, and that's okay. And also, you gotta listen to your intuition as opposed to what society tells you. Do what feels right and trust yourself. Because you will come to a point in life where you make a decision. We all do. Listen to other people or listen to your heart. And this could take form in many ways, but it's something that everyone has to confront. Stop caring about what others think. And only then will you be truly happy, free, and fulfilled in life. Anyways, I think I'll leave this one at that. The creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, recently passed away, and I just want to talk about that for a little bit because he had such an impact on my self-improvement philosophy. The one thing I got from Dragon Ball Z, aside from great storylines and epic fight scenes, was this idea of constantly breaking your limits and constantly pushing yourself to go higher and to go even further beyond. Every time Goku and Vegeta would go up a level, there'd be a new enemy and they'd have to break past their limits and to get even stronger. And the most memorable thing about Goku's character is that he would always get excited when he's up against an insurmountable challenge, to smile in the face of adversity and to give it your all even if it's a losing battle. I tried to adopt a lot of that mentality growing up. And for Vegeta, it was that undying pride and tenacity he had in being a warrior to being a Saiyan. Despite his track record, which he's taken a bunch of L's, especially to Goku, it would hurt his pride, but he never stopped, and he used that to fuel him to become stronger in his own way. And I think it's a philosophy that we should all adopt when it comes to self-improvement and life in general, just to keep going higher, to keep becoming stronger, and to keep bettering yourself. Actually, let me get my Goku figure. There's Goku Black, one of my favorite villains. Yeah, rest in peace to Toriyama. Anyways, I'll leave this one at that. I hope you watching this, I hope you're doing well. Make sure you guys stay true, stop caring about other people's opinions, and just do what makes you happy. Now with that said, make sure you guys stay true. I'll talk to you guys real soon.